Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Fyreslayers in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, using the faction Spearhead box set as a starting point. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames, from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. Leading the box set is a Battlesmith. This 5 health hero with a 5+ save and 4-inch move, which is pretty standard things we're going to see for Fyreslayer characters, is going to be a nice buff piece for the force. The Icon of Grimnir passive ability allows you to ignore negative modifiers to the control score of friendly Fyreslayers nearby this model, while Bard of the Lodge actually allows you to roll some extra dice when making rally commands nearby this model as well. Like all Fyreslayers, it has a built-in ward of 6+, and it's got your standard sort of combat hero profile with 5 attacks, hitting and wounding on 3s, Ren 1 and damage 2. The majority of the box set is made up by Volkite Berserker models, and the ones we're going to suggest building are Volkite Berserkers with Fire Steel weapons. They have 2 health each, a 6+ save, and that 4-inch move that is synonymous with Dwarden. Now, they also have a ward 6+ as well, so a 6-up 6-up is not a terrible save. It's definitely not the worst, it is better than it sounds, but the big thing here is Whirlwind of Destruction, where they get to add 1 to their attacks characteristic of their melee weapons if they've charged on the same turn, giving them 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s with Ren 1 and damage 1. They can actually get out quite a decent bit of damage. A large unit of 20 of these really will put out some good attacks if they can get those charges off. Next we have Hearthguard Berserkers, and my personal preference of the 2 options we get for these are with the Flamestrike Poleaxes. 2 health each, a 6+ save, but they've also got ward 6+ as well. What the Flamestrike Poleaxes do in combat are 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, Ren 1 damage 2, but they do have the Crit Mortal ability, meaning any 6s we roll and critical hits we roll on those hit rolls will inflict mortal damage equal to the damage value, so you can really get a lot of damage out of a large unit of 10 of these models. Now, their passive ability, Duty Unto Death, means while a friendly Fyreslayer infantry hero is hollow in combat range, both this unit and any of those friendly heroes that are within that combat range get ward 5+. So pairing these models up with the Battlesmith in the box set is a really great way to get more out of both units. The other ability, Smouldering Braziers, is used at the end of any turn, and it can be used against the unit they're in combat with. You simply roll a d3 and on a 2+ inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. This might not sound like a lot, but it could be that last wound or 2 you need to free up the unit to be able to activate in your next turn. Now, where to go next? First of all, we're going to look at adding a priest. First of all, it is important to remember in Age of Sigmar that manifestations are a free thing you can take, and the Fyreslayers have their own particular set of manifestations that are all based on priests casting them, which is really useful. Now, the Auric Runemaster himself is a priest too, which is really great, meaning he can cast 2 prayers each round or try and banish manifestations. But he's also got the High Priest of Zargrim. This allows each time a prayer is chanted by this model to gain a Magmic Power token, and then you can spend these Magmic Power tokens when you've declared an Urgold rune ability. If you have 3 Magmic Power tokens, you can spend them, and they essentially give you an additional benefit on top of the Urgold runes already. Now, it is worth remembering you could certainly get this within a single turn. You won't have the option to do this particularly in the first turn, but you could easily get this if you go second in a turn, casting 2 in your turn and potentially getting another one later in your turn. There's lots of ways you can go with this and getting them really nice and early. You know, you do have 4 chances with this model to get those tokens. And so the last unit we're going to look at are the other alternative build for the Volkite Berserkers. These are with bladed sling shields, and they've got a 5+ save, a slightly better save than our other ones. They don't get the extra attack when they charge, though they have exactly the same combat profile, but their thing is Berserk Fury, where each time a model is slain they potentially can do some mortal damage back. For me, this is just a unit with a little bit higher save. These are going to be the unit that probably tries to run around the table, grabbing some objectives and grabbing some battle tactics, stuff like that. That extra little bit of save can really come in handy. You know, the difference between a 5 and a 6 is massive, especially when you've got a ward behind it as well. And so our list today is obviously going to be the Fyreslayers, and we're playing with the Warrior Kin Bad battle formation. This gives us Berserk Kindred as a passive ability, where the effect of this is we can add 1 to wound rolls for Fyreslayers infantry if we've charged in the same turn. It's pretty cool. It stacks with the fact we want to be charging with some of the units we already have. So, you know, +1 to wound, +1 attack on a large unit of Volkart Berserkers with fire steel weapons is a nice thing. Our first regiment is going to be led by our Battlesmith, who'll be our general. This model is going to have our artifact of power called the Ashcloud Rune, which is a once per game ability which can actually make shooting against us much less potent for 1 turn. For units inside this regiment, we then have a unit of Hurkar Berserkers with Flamestrike poleaxes that has been reinforced, and a unit of Volkart Berserkers with fire steel weapons that's been reinforced as well. Regiment 2 is an Auric Rune Master leading it, and this model has the heroic trait of Ashbeard, which actually gives them +1 to their chanting rolls, really great for helping with those off-turn chants. And for units, we have a unit of Volkart Berserkers with bladed sling shields. We hope this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.